Hi guys, so another quick video regarding with taking advantage of the compensation plan in Talk. Again, it's lots of numbers. Um, you'll have to probably watch this video maybe 3 or 4 times for the penny to really drop to get your understanding. We have launched previous videos on this, but this is more of a refined video, so you can get a more easier and better understanding on the power of compounding within this particular company. It's all about strategizing. It's all about maximizing your earning potentials. And as always, as a disclaimer, we're not investing advisors. Past performances are not indicative of future results, and everything we're sharing with you here is based on what we've seen, what we're doing with ourselves, and we're just letting you guys know about it. Okay, so the first thing on this spreadsheet is, as you can see, there's a lot of numbers. So just ignore the numbers, don't get confused. Okay, keep it very, very simple. And ultimately, what I want you to first focus on is this value here, 0.002. That represents 0.2% interest on your capital on this particular program. Now, with this program, you can earn anything between 0.25 to 0.45% per day. So this actually is very, very onerous. Okay, it's actually undervalued from what we are actually getting at the moment. Assumed capital is $228 because ultimately we are assuming that the average capital minimum you can put in on each account is $228. Okay, we've explained this in the previous videos. I'm not going to go too much into it. So we've got our capital, minimum capital per account, and now we are earning a percentage from that capital. That percentage gets put back into the capital. Yeah, so now your capital has grown, and now you're earning off that capital. So therefore your earnings increased, and obviously your capital is increasing. Now that earnings is going back into the capital. Okay, so therefore your capital is increasing even more, and now your earnings for that day is increasing even more. And remember, these are in days. Obviously, this is starting at 2, but that's actually your first day, second day, third day, fourth day, and so on. So everything that I'm highlighting here is one account, and it's based on compounding that one account all the way down. So if you go to 6 months, which is this yellow line here, your account balance is now sitting at 327, and your daily earning has also increased because it's now 65 cents. Okay, if you fast forward to a year, same thing, you're now at $471, and your daily earnings is 94 cents a year. Sorry, cents a day. And if I just quickly project that as a graph, your earning is effectively doing this. If this is profits, and if this is time, yeah, your earnings is just doing a very nice growth. It's doing exponential, but very kind of like small. Yeah, that's what we're doing here. Now, if you weren't compounding, your line would have been just doing this, a very steady growth. Yeah, you'll be taking home the profit at each given stage. That's what you're doing here. Yeah, your effectively your capital isn't growing. You're just earning in a straight line. That's all you're doing. But because we're compounding, the curve of this earning line is going higher. So really, at this given point of time, where you would be earning there, you're now earning that much. So obviously compounding works. And that's what we're doing here. Okay, just very simple compounding. Now, the strategy that we're showing you is based on a new strategy, which is ultimately making you earn off 8 accounts going down. So remember that we mentioned in Talk, you can have one account, compound it, have 2 accounts, 3 accounts, 4 accounts, 5 accounts, 6 accounts, 7, and 8. Now you can carry on going all the down, but for this particular strategy, you don't need to go any further than 8. And we'll show you why later on. And that effectively is one leg, yeah? So you could tell that this is one leg. So this is your number one leg. And ultimately, that reflects this setup here in the business plan. So on your first account, you're going to earn 33% of your second account, 16% of your third account, 16 of your fourth, and so on and so forth, which we've explained in the previous videos. And again, once you open up your second account, you'll then be earning 33% of this one, 16, 16, 10, 10. Okay? So going back to the spreadsheet, I want you to compare two things here. Look at this number, these numbers, and look at these numbers. Now let's go to 6 months. Projected value, $327, as we mentioned before. But look at this, $629. That's nearly double. Let's go fast forward. I'm going to explain to you why this is the case. Only $471, which by the way is still quite a lot, yeah, because you're compounding. $1,491. So you can see the stark contrast. Okay, 680, 3242. Look at this, 980, 6,670. Okay, so you can see now that there's a big difference in earning potential. Why is this the case? Well, if I go back to the drawing board, what we're doing here now is we are basically having this setup here. Yeah. So instead of having one account that you're compounding all 8 accounts. Okay. And that is why your earning potential has increased dramatically. Now, granted, your outlay is going to be a lot more. So, for example, if you just open up one account, your total capital outlay would be $228. Yeah. And so, that's how much you'll have to kind of like put in terms of start making these earnings. However, if you're opening up 8 accounts, now I just want to show you this. This section here is 1 account. This section here is 2 accounts, 3 accounts, and so forth. Okay, all the way up to 8 accounts. Yeah, as you can see. So now, what's happening here is that this is called 7 account profit. Okay, and that is an accumulation of all the other accounts that you're earning off from. So remember, going back to this setup here, so that's the thing we're basing everything on. So if you go back to the spreadsheet, you can see the stark difference. Okay, that's already established. So what's happening here is that basically, if you look at this value here, that is taking this value here, which is the 7 account profit. Okay, which is obviously what I just mentioned in the spreadsheet, in the business plan, which is this. Yeah, it's taken into account the 33%, the 16%, etc., etc. Now, it's a combination, not just of that, but it's a combination of the other accounts doing exactly the same thing. So if you take this value here, for example, that's taken the 33%, the 16, the 10, 10, etc., etc. Yeah, but then this value here is also doing exactly the same, and this value, as a random one, is also doing the exact value. So you can see here it's taking 7 accounts underneath profit, it's taking 6 accounts profit, it's taking 5 accounts profit. So it's kind of like an accumulation effect. So the whole thing's like a spiral, but instead of the spiral going down, the spiral is going up and increasing your profits exponentially. This whole system is designed to increase your profits exponentially. Okay, so that is what this spreadsheet is showing you. That is what this spreadsheet is telling you. And therefore, if you now look at account 1 and you compare it to, so this account 1 is based on an accumulation effect occurring from account 2, 3, 4, 5. Same thing with 2. The capital that's increasing here is based on 3, 4, 5, 6, and also its own profits. Yeah, and the same thing with 3, 4, 5 until you get to account 8, whereby you are effectively not earning anything more other than its own compounding profits. Okay, so I know that might be a bit confusing, but all you need to realize is your first account, which is this one, is earning 33% of this. Yeah, it's earning 16% of this. It's earning, I think, 10%, 10%, and then 6 and 6. Yeah, I might have got that wrong, but I'm just top of my head. Okay. But then this account is also earning 16% of this. 16, 10, 10, 6, 6. But then your third account is doing exactly the same. It's earning 16% of this one, 10, 10. So I think you've got the picture of how they are earning. But also remember, each account is also earning off its own account 100%. So take that into consideration as well. So this spreadsheet is basically showing you that setup over 8 accounts. Now, if you look on the far right, what we've done here is showing you the projected outlay and then how that outlay gets reduced, okay, by the profits you are making on 8 of the accounts. So if you scroll down, you can see that your outlay is decreasing, decreasing, decreasing until you hit break-even point. Now that break-even point is effectively at day 170, is actually 175. So that's when you break even. So now your risk here is nothing. Yeah, so that's what you need to aim for. Your risk is, so 176 days, putting in 18,000 US dollars, your risk is 0 at day 176. Now, from then on, it's up and away because now you're in profits. So, 6 months, you're at $113. Now, watch the exponential effect that I mentioned in the graph, because now, at 1 year, you're at 3,795 profits, gross profits. And remember, this is based on a very onerous 0.02%. Imagine if we increase that to 0.25 or even 0.33 or even 0.37. These figures will be a lot higher. So 1.5 years, you've made 10,615. And remember, off the back of an 1,800. And this, by the way, is off the back of 0 risk now. In fact, you've now made 10,000 US dollars gross profit. Fast forward to 2 years, 23,000. 2.5 years, 45,000. And finally, 3-year projected value is 83,000. Now remember, these figures can drastically increase because we've given a very, very onerous figure of 0.02. Now, if we increase that to 0.25, I won't do it right now in the spreadsheet, we'll do another video on that, then effectively the earning potential has increased dramatically. In fact, let's do that exercise right now. I want you to remember this figure here, okay? In fact, let's take a snapshot of this. 1 year and 6 months, okay? That's the figure. Now, if we, on average, I think we're earning roughly on this particular program 0.33. So if we do that 0.33, now let's go to that 1.5 years. 6 months, 1 year, 1.5 years. So you can see you've increased already. Okay, so instead of 10,615, you're at 10,647. So this has a knock-on effect. Okay, this has a knock-on effect depending on how much you're earning per day. Now that's basically the power of this, okay? And the power really reflects here, these two columns, okay? If you just take day 889, yeah, on a normal account, 1,341, which is fantastic because your outlay was 228. But here, you're at $12,003, okay? You can see the stark difference in this program. Now, stepping up a gear, we're on to this particular graph because this one is exactly the same as the previous one. However, we've added an additional column in here, which is basically the 16%. Now, what is 16%? If you just open up one leg, but now you open up 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 legs of 8 accounts going down. So that's a total of 64 accounts, okay? If my maths is not too far off. So your total outlay here will be roughly about 15 grand. Just cutting the long story short. Okay? And this now is just basically adding 16% to all the earnings you are creating for each account on a daily basis. Because that is what the compensation plan gives us. Yeah, here we are. 16% additional trading profits on all of the accounts underneath you. So now you've put yourself into a very nice position of earning all this, but also 16% on top of every single thing that you can see here. And that is the figures that we're producing here in yellow. So now if we go into this spreadsheet here, these are, if you look on one column, that is all of your accumulated profits that you're earning, okay, on one leg, yeah, plus the 16%. Now we've started off 18 minus 1815 because obviously that is your total outlay for one leg, okay, capital outlay, and again for leg 2, leg 3. So the total outlay across all 8 legs is going to be roughly around 15,000. Now I want you to focus on this because this is where the power really, occurs. At break even, you're only at day 157. So if you want to use this strategy, you have to open up 64 accounts. You have to put in approximately 15 grand. Okay. And on day 157, you will effectively be in a break even position. So your risk is gone. Thereafter, you are just making profits. Now, obviously, at this point, you can take out your 15 grand and start again. And then, you could do it that way as well. But really, you just want to carry this on because now look at the increase. On day 183, you're sitting at now 3,383. That's just 6 months, guys. Yeah. In 1 year, remember your initial capital was 15 grand. In 1 year, you've more than doubled. You've got 37,000. Okay. In 1.5 years, you're on 100,000. Now you can see the difference between 1 year, which was only 33, 37, to 100. This is exponential growth because now your graph is doing this. On your 8 accounts, your graph is doing this. Okay? But on your 64 account, your graph is doing this. So at this given point, you're earning that much. That given point in time, you're earning that much. And over here, it's even more of a gap. Okay? And this is called exponential growth, guys. This is what I want you to learn. You can see this gap is a lot bigger than this gap. This gap is a lot bigger than this gap. I mean, I haven't drawn it right, but you can get the understanding. This is the effects of, this is the effects of exponential growth. Okay? At any given point in time, when you increase your earnings, this is the effect. And so, in 2 years' time, look at the earnings. Look at the earnings, guys. Look, 215,000. That's 2 years. with your total outlay of 15 grand. So I'm going to leave that thought with you. It's been nearly 20 minutes with this video. I don't want to go too long. I would suggest you go through this video maybe 3 or 4 times so you get a bit more of an understanding of what I'm showing you here. And the last thing I just wanted to show you, if I zoom out, these greens, this is your break evens. Okay, so on the first account you break even a lot early, second a bit later, and that's the last thing I want you to show you. Okay, because if you just had the one account, your break even will be a lot lower. But because you're doing this 8 account setup, your break even occurs a lot quicker and a lot faster as well. So it's like a double advantage. So hope that was interesting. Hope that was useful. Compounding is all about talk. And that is kind of like the strategy you really do need to deploy in this particular company, and in order to really grasp the advantage of this setup with this particular company. All right, guys. So take care. See you in the next video. All the best. Goodbye.